Everton versus Chelsea, one of the upsets of the week. I did not see this coming. Chelsea came in firing. They hadn't lost a game in 17 matches in all competitions. Everton, after their hot start, was really not playing at all good. They had won one game out of their last 7 games, I believe, and they are able to squeak out the 1-0 victory against Chelsea. Mendy, for all the great play he's had since he came over to Chelsea, had a mistake this game. He gave a penalty away. I think he was pressing a little bit just because a couple of minutes before the penalty, before his mistake that led to the penalty, he got hurt. He went up for a ball and he fell kind of awkwardly. And then the medical team had to come and give him some treatment. And I think after that, he was pressing. He was trying to show that he was good. The ball, Calvert-Lewin won a header, and then he chased after it. And it was at the very outside of the box, or like the very end of the box, and Mendy committed to going to get the ball. He didn't get there fast enough, tackled Calvert-Lewin, easy penalty call, and then Sigurdsson put it away calmly. And then after that, Chelsea was chasing the 1-0 defeat, the 1-0 deficit, and Everton just looked comfortable sitting back. They conceded all the possessions to Chelsea, 72% possession for Chelsea in the game. But Chelsea never really looked dangerous. They were without Pulisic. They were without Hudson-Odoi. They were without Cisic. So they were basically without all their wingers. They had to play Havertz up there, and they had to play Werner on the left side. And they're just not natural wingers. They don't present that threat. They're not as quick as their natural wingers. Werner's quick, but he's more of a number 9. Havertz, what's going on with Havertz? He seems to be a letdown too. They spent a lot of money to get him, and we're like third through the season, and he has 1 goal and 1 assist combined. And we need to see more from Havertz. I think Chelsea fans need to demand more from Havertz. He has a lot of talent, but he has not showed up so far in his first season in Chelsea. And for Everton, good win. They're able to squeak out the victory. Chelsea had some chances in the second half. They hit the post 3 times in the game. Pickford had a couple saves, but really Chelsea didn't look too dangerous. They were definitely missing their wingers, but I did expect them to see the game out, to come back, but they never really looked dangerous. They had a couple chances, but nothing crazy. I think Lampard was trying to lower the expectations for their team after the game. In his post-match interview, he was saying how this game kind of shows that Chelsea is not a title contender. He doesn't understand why people keep asking him if they're title contenders. There's teams out there that have more longevity. They have players in their squads that have won leagues, cups, Champions League games, or Champions League titles. And they have some in their team that have done the same, but they're a very young team, and it's crazy to put those expectations on his team when they're so young and they're barely coming together. And I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to lower expectations just in case the team doesn't do good. He could just say, hey, you know what? I've been saying it since the beginning, or I said it earlier, that this team is not a title contender, that it's a work in progress. He even said, talk to me in 2-3 years when maybe we've won some cups, we've won league. Then if you ask me if we're title contenders, then I'll say, all right, we're title contenders. I get what he's doing. Mourinho kind of did the same thing a couple weeks back when they asked him if there were a title contender, if there were a horse in the race. And he said, oh, we're not horses, we're ponies. We're not even a horse, we're a pony. We're not really a favorite, we're not really contenders. It's in the same idea what Lampard is doing. He's trying to lower expectations. He's trying to put less pressure on his team. I get it. It makes sense. But for all the money that Chelsea spend, if you look at their roster, top to bottom, they should definitely be title contenders this season. And he needs to make it work. There's one statistic that I wanted to point out real quick. Chelsea's 6 wins this season have come against 18th place Burnley, 14th place Leeds, 20th place Sheffield United, 11th place Newcastle, 13th place Crystal Palace, 16th place Brighton. And Chelsea versus the top 10 teams in the table, 0 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. So was it a fluky run that they went on, that they just ended right now with their loss? We're going to find out. We'll see how they do. But Chelsea, Lampard has to do a better job against the top of the table teams. But I guess you can't. They couldn't keep their streak going. It was 17 games unbeaten. So we'll see how they bounce back. They play the Wolves in the middle of the week, and the Wolves are struggling right now too. My Wolves are struggling right now. So we'll see if they're able to turn it around. And once they get their wingers back, once they get Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, and Cizic, I think they should be in a better position. So it sucks for Chelsea that they lost, but I still believe that they have the team, they have the squad to have a top 4 finish and compete for the title. And as far as Everton, they stopped their skid. They were falling down that table rapidly. Big win without James, without Digne. They're able to get the victory. So shout out to Ancelotti. He got the win. They defended pretty good in the second half to hold that 1-0 victory. And now they're able to breathe. I think they're in 7th now. So we'll see how Everton finishes the season. We might look back at this game and see, and this is where they saved their season. This is where they turned it back around. But we'll see how they do. I do want Everton to do pretty good. They're one of those teams that, as a neutral, I could kind of root for. So we'll see how they end. But Everton pulls up the upset in matchday 12 against Chelsea. And we'll see how Chelsea bounces back against Wolves on Tuesday.